Yo, what is going on, guys? Aspect Game back once again in GTNH, and today we're doing some blood magic. So the gist of what I want to do, I want to summon better meteors, but to do that I need higher Soul Network LP levels. And in order to accomplish that, we need to move out and make a tier 6 altar here. So to do all that, you need to do a demonic invasion, which requires a whole bunch of preparations, many of which I've done off camera, but I will explain through them because they're pretty simple. It's just time consuming, as blood magic typically is. So the first preparation I did, I had to create runes of the orb. So in order to do the demonic invasion, you need at least 15 million LP in your soul network. I now have 16 million. I went a little bit overboard. I created a bit more of these than I needed to, just in case something happened in the base where it consumed a little bit of the LP in my network right when I wanted to do it. So I just went a little bit overboard because I have so much auto crafting. But yeah, not a big deal there. The other things we got to do, I have to make these crystal bell jars of every different material. So in the quest over here, conveniently it has them all listed out. You need Magicales, Potentia, Incendium, Terrae, Tenebrae, Sanctus, Aether, and Aquasalis. Aquasalis. I don't know how to say that. But yeah, pretty much none of it's a showstopper. It's all automated for me. If you've never seen my setups before, I have this like crazy world accelerated, tile accelerated alchemic chemistry set. So when it senses an item is in there from this tally box with a runic whitelist with all the different most common materials in it, it turns this on and it gets like giga accelerated by this accelerator. And then it runs really fast basically. But yeah, everything's automated, so none of it is that difficult to do. The only thing that was difficult was figuring out how to actually connect the damn thing, which I'm going to show you right now. So what's next up? We got to do Aether. So I'm going to go up, I'm going to look up Aether. I need a bunch more of it. We'll request 20 of it. Now that's done. You need 16 of it to fill a whole jar. So put 16 in there. It starts to melt. So I have 3 different tools here: an alchemic cleanser, alchemic router, and alchemic segmenter. This one I don't really use. I don't know why I made that. I thought I needed it, but you didn't. That sort of seems like a whitelist the jars. I don't really think it does anything though. But yeah, for my purposes right here, I'm going to click on the alchemic calcinator with the alchemic cleanser. This is going to clear the item destination, and then I'll be able to relink it. So now I shift right click with my alchemic router. It goes to the material that is in the jar, or I guess in the calcinator, and then you click it, normal click, and it goes into the jar. So this starts to fill. This takes a minute. This could probably be weld accelerated or tile accelerated. I'm just going to let it go for a minute. Now this guy's done. You just break it, and then you repeat the process. So I'm going to cleanse this, put my new material in there, put the new jar down, and then once that melts the first one, we can link it again. And then that's the last one I got to do. I have the other jars already made. And then there's only a couple more things I needed to do. I had to get a demon crystal. So you could summon a demon and just kill it, and it drops a crystal. These are all in like the FTB wiki. If you Google like blood magic demon summoning, there's a whole list. I have no idea how you're supposed to figure out what materials you need to summon them in the first place, but essentially you just put the materials that you need to summon them on these pedestals on your summoning plinth or whatever. I don't even know what this thing's called. But you put the materials on there, and then you put your blood orb there, and it summons it. And then you one-shot the guy because your tools are OP. And with that, all the preparations are done. So all the stuff you need, these 8 crystal bell jars, each different materials, 4 alchemy relays, master stone, and then 128 ritual stones, and then your alchemic routers, a awakened activation crystal, a demon. I'm going to need a sword. What is this thing called? Dagger of Sacrifice. And then we should have everything that we need. I think that's already everything. I should have checked this chest. I actually had a Tenebrae bell jar already made, but it's okay. So now we're going to go to the Nether. I'm going to do this in the Nether because I feel like that is the best way to do it. And we're going to go to the Nether roof and do it. So it's extremely easy to get the Nether roof. I don't know if this is only a 1.7 thing or what, but this is just... I only play 1.7, by the way. So my extent of knowledge in the game kind of starts and ends here, which is kind of funny. Let me turn my magnet off. All you gotta do is put a stair down. Of course I mess it up. You put a stair down. I ender pearl there, and then there you go, you clip through. Okay. That was easy to do. So now let's build this ritual. Actually, I gotta set this up. So you need to do the ritual of the damned, or the convocation of the damned, and this of course takes forever to scroll to the one that you want. Okay, the ritual is built. That's the easy part. I placed all my jars in the top like this, and then placed my relays down here. This part gets a little bit complicated and annoying, but it's okay. So the main thing we got to do here is use the alchemic router to sort of link up the jars to the relays. To do that, by default, you want to shift right click in the air. That clears any saved containers. Then you want to shift right click on the jar. That attunes your alchemic router to the material. Then you right click on the jar. That attunes your router to the jar. And then you connect it to the relay by clicking the relay. Then you shift right click to clear that. Set the material, set the jar, set that. Now we transmit everything to the relay. So 2,000 of each are set up in there. Let's repeat that. So I'm going to clear the router, set the type, set the jar, link. Clear it, set the type, set the jar, link. So keep doing that. And it's like a little bit annoying to figure it out, but it's straightforward once you have an understanding of how this thing works, to be honest. Okay, these look like they're all linked up. You see by the particle effect there, it looks like it's going to all the circles. They're all hooked up correctly, it seems. The only thing that I'm noticing right now, some of these have 50-50 splits in the material. So this one has 2,000 blue, 2,000 red. But this one over here is like double up of the brown. This one double up on the green. But this one's 50-50 again. We'll see if that's a problem or not. I'm not sure. But yeah, I built a little capsule here because we need to kill a demon here as well in just a moment. But yeah, I think I have everything ready now. Let's go ahead and try this. Let's see if we can click on this and have it work. I might need to turn these on now. Should have read the article again before I did that, but you know, it's okay. Sometimes you gotta figure stuff out by doing it. Say, we see consumed a ton of LP. Cannot tell if it's working or not. Oh, there we go. So through some trial and error, I've now figured it out. Let's review it. So for each of these, you also have to link the relay to the Master Ritual Stone. I forgot about that. And then for the ones where things were doubled up, all I did was connect both bell jars. I took the router type from that and then connected it to the relay to the Ritual Stone. Even though it was doubled up, it still seems to be transmitting properly. So now we have lightning like crazy going on in here as it's transmitting all the materials in. And yeah, this is a little bit absurd. I can't even focus on what's going on, to be honest. So this one was doubled up. You can tell it's working correctly, though. This one's draining now secondarily. And everything seems to be going pretty well. The bell jars are all ticking down. These ones are going quite slowly, though. I wonder if that one's okay. We've got to double check on that. But this is wild, by the way. Okay, the lightning is done. We have sacrificed all the bell jars. They are all empty. Double check that. And then all of the relays are empty as well now. So now we're ready to sacrifice a demon. So I'm just going to drop the demon that I have in here. Hit it with that. And then now we have a demon portal here. And that should be everything that we have to do. So now after some time, I don't know how long. Oh shit, yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. So the demon's going to start moving in here, which is going to be a fun time. And they're going to start building a city, which we're going to loot them and take their materials, take their valuables. And that's pretty much what we've been waiting for. That first structure has appeared, and there's a guy in there. Interesting how this works, how it sort of builds the city gradually. And they actually are tanky. He survived a hit from my crossbow. Okay, we got 3 life shards. So the reason I need these shards, we can take a look at what we need them for, is these crystal clusters. So there's these red shards and then the blue shards. And then that's free. Bunch of random junk from Thaumcraft. We can get most of that pretty easily. But yeah, just gotta collect a whole bunch of shards. So I guess I'm gonna let them build their city out. And it looks like it just makes dungeon loot as well. It's interesting how it does this. I really want to see if it just pops into existence or not. I didn't notice this spawn. It just kind of happened to, when I looked away, at one point it came into vision. So yeah, I'm going to keep grinding these guys, I guess. We're going to kill them. Potentially I could put them in an auto spawner or a, man, what do you call it? Maybe an EEC, but it does say you have to kill them to make it drop. Also interesting that they break the bedrock to spawn their like town, which is kind of cool. But I guess we're just going to wait around and let them do that. Let them move in. Wow, I left for a short time and they built so much. This thing can apparently cover a radius of 1,000 by 1,000 blocks. So that's going to be a big city eventually. Yeah, they do just appear. The structures just pop into existence every now and then. And, there's a lot of guys living up here now, a lot of demons. Actually spawning normal mobs now up here as well. So, dangerous place. Definitely a good call to do it on top of the Nether, for sure. Don't do this in a place that you care about. Alright, easy enough. We can program our crystal clusters in and be created in the infusion altar. This has been acting strange for me, but I think I figured it out. I think we're just getting low amperages to the advanced world accelerator, and we're just struggling because of that. And now it's acting weird again. Yeah, I updated my version from 2.7.2 to 2.7.4. I'm also on a more experimental version of GTNH because I have a new mod installed called Matter Manipulator. So I'm trying to figure out how to get the system back up and running. At some point we'll play with Matter Manipulator, but yeah, this thing's been acting a little bit annoying lately, to be honest. So yeah, right there, it didn't re-hit the Infusion Claw. That bothers me. Now the actually difficult part of this is crafting like 300 some Ichor. So just for the Icorium ingots, I need 4 times 56 of them, which is 224, which is a whole lot of aspects. That's the main problem, is getting the Spiritus and the Humanus together. None of it is that difficult to make. Our sources for all these are pretty cheap. It's just time, The Spiritus comes from gas tears. The Humanus comes from rotten flesh, which we have plenty of. That comes from glowstone, the Lux, and then Alienus, we get it from a ton of different stuff. Ordo, we should have enough of that. If we don't, we do have enough of it, okay. I'll still throw some Ordo shards in. It's not a big deal to just have these go as well. But yeah, we've been queuing up a ton of stuff to be decomposed in our advanced alchemical furnace that is also world accelerated, and it is still very slow. This is the point where if I invested in bees, I would be a lot happier because I'd have infinite essentia for every auto-crafting aspect. But, sometimes you put off bees until ZPM, and sometimes it happens, Yeah, I don't think it's the update. I think these are struggling to get enough power. I rewired this area recently, and I haven't used my infusion altar in a while, so it's probably the case that these cables aren't getting enough power, because this is quite a long run now. This is running from, like, all the way over towards the middle area of the base. So it could be that I'm needing a battery buffer in between or something, but I could work that through. But it's working good enough right now, so I'm happy with that. I'm doing the Icorium in batches of 16 just to make sure I have enough materials to do so. And yeah, we're just going to let it run. I'll babysit it. If I notice it going haywire, you just take the middle item off the pedestal and then you're good to go. By the way, if you just randomly came across this video and you were wondering what the hell this thing is, there's previous episodes that explain what my infusion automation looks like. And especially for GTNH, it makes things a lot easier to have this running. And this is a pretty elaborate Magitech setup, but this is the stuff that I really enjoy doing. At some point, I'll make a tutorial that goes over all this stuff and how I do it. But that's going to be at the end when I kind of feel qualified to talk about it, which for me is a difficult thing. Is I have that like imposter syndrome where it's like, oh, if I don't have Stargate, I'm not qualified to talk about the mod pack in any way, which is not true. But that's just kind of how I feel. I'm almost at the point where I'm going to feel comfortable making some tutorial videos for you guys. So at some point we will go over all this in a compact way that brings it all together to sort of show people what Magic in GTNH is capable of, which is something I'm pretty passionate about. All of the different preparations are made now. I've added blood-soaked Icorium to my auto-crafting and filter for my altar here. And I've double-checked all my Essentia. I have it all ready. So now we can request the blood-soaked Icorium. 28 of them. Oh, I got a couple more things to do. Hold on. There we go. We're all ready now. Small-looking craft, but a lot went into it. So we'll just babysit the altar one last time just to make sure we don't have any ridiculous explosions happening. Then we should be good to go. Okay, the blocks are completed now. All 28 blood-soaked Icorium blocks. Let's build the rest of the altar. We're just going to use... Oh, are you kidding me? It's clipping into the wall, so that's not good. Okay, that's fine. We'll just break that block. I thought I measured this right to make this fit perfectly, but whatever. It fits. It fits in the room, so I'm happy. And that's the tier 6 altar completed. I had to wrap a cable down below underneath it as well, which is great. We use the blank runes for now, just the regular blood runes. At some point, these will be replaced. I forget what the ideal is, but I'll have to check on that. Really, it's preference, to be honest. It's probably going to be speed runes, or it's going to be more of these orb runes. I might go for the orb runes, so I kind of AFK more. We'll see. We'll see what the options are. A couple more things I got to do before we wrap up. I have to summon a new meteor. So this guy is going to summon me a meteor. It's going to make me some plutonium 241 that I need. That's going to get me my raw orb tier 6. Just need plutonium 241 to do that. That's all that it really is. And it's iridium screw, so you're gated by that as well. So that will manually drop in a moment. You know, I should check to make sure that meteor is not too large. I doubt it is, but yeah, it's a small meteor. We're good. Then I'm working on a very large recipe to create 2 lightning sigils. This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. It seems a ton of amorphic catalyst, which is very difficult on my systems right now. So yeah, we're going to keep grinding through that and try and get this done. Okay, finally at the end. Let's make this. Let me make this. Then this guy sits in the blood altar and then we're done. Okay, there we go. Transcendent blood orb. Put that in there. Anticlimactic, but we got it done. I think there's a tier above that, but I'll look at that later on. I'm tired today. We did enough work. Till next time, thank you all for watching, and have a good day.